So, hi, my name is Tanikia Polk. I'm an author, community activist, and book publisher, and I'm so happy to be on the line with you today. I do appreciate you taking the time to connect with us today. And so I'd like to start by giving you just a little information about me and my background. I am a former teacher, through which I've had the privilege of working with children ages pre-K through 12th grade. I've taught in school as well as in the church. I've earned the title of Teacher of the Year at Calvary Christian Academy. I've also earned the Associated Christian Schools International Program Design Award, and am currently in pursuit of my certificate in ministry. I do come from pretty humble beginnings and have always had a desire to encourage those around me by helping them succeed in their careers, by helping people fulfill the mission God intended for them, or just to, help them fulfill their purpose, whatever that may be. By God's grace, I've overcome many obstacles, including homelessness. My passion for book publishing comes from a place of need. I've often turned to books, including the Bible, in the most desperate times in my life. So I really enjoy continuing the legacy and helping others continue their legacy. I authored and self-published my first book as a teacher when I couldn't find the resources I needed to teach my students. The most recent book I authored and published is called The PR Connection, How to Get Publicity for Your Book. I wrote this book to help authors publicize their work and create a platform within their communities. So I just say all that to say, give that introduction to say, perhaps you're like me. You've always had a desire to inspire or educate your community. Or, like me, you may have been looking for a meaningful way to enhance your career and cash flow. God has graced you with gifts, talents, experiences, and expertise will help someone else along the way. And, maybe you've gone through the school of the hard knocks in some area of your life and you want to help someone overcome the hurdles you climbed. Or, maybe you're just bursting with creativity and insight to inspire others. So in all of this, you just need a way to capture it. And one way to capture it, obviously, is a book. So this can be your gift to the world, and it could be a pretty powerful business card. I personally see it as both, okay? So our TP Award Summer Publishing Institute is designed to do just that, publish your book the way to help you accomplish your goals. As a publisher, I have been blessed to help community leaders publish books and achieve their goals. And so, actually I'll have a couple of authors on the line. One of them is on the line now, and I believe we have one coming up soon. And you'll get a better understanding of the publishing process from the author's perspective. And in doing so, I'm sure you'll understand that TP Rewards is so much more than your run-of-the-mill publishing company, and hopefully they'll help to clarify any questions you may have concerning publishing with TP Rewards. So that being said, I'm going to ask Vicki to just give some brief insight on her publishing experience. Vicki?
I'm here, and thank you, Tanikia. I'm really glad to be a part of this teleconference because I do believe in what you and your company stand for, and I've had a wonderful experience thus far just working with you and just going about the business of publishing my first book. I mean, I had no idea of where to go, what to do, or how to go about doing it. And TP Rewards was right there. You know, once I had the manuscript written, you worked with me from every step of the way, from what I was going to call the book, what I needed to put in there, what was I trying to get from, what did I want the readers to get when they read the book, just being able to capture an audience, because I did have a lot of experience and I wanted to be able to share that with others who might be going through the same thing. My book, How to Swim with the Shark, is going off pretty good. It's pretty good. Thanks to TP Rewards, I'm getting a lot of visibility and notoriety. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be up in Syracuse this week talking to the students there. And then Saturday, February 28th, I'm going to be at Barnes & Noble promoting the book as well. So TP Rewards, I'm going to start the second book. I think I'm going to start it within the next couple of months, but I am sold on TP Rewards.
Well, thank you, Vicki. And Vicki, you've been such a pleasure to work with. And Vicki, actually, one thing that's really notable about her book launch is that she had an opportunity to release at the Congressional Black Caucus annual Legislative Conference, which is just pretty big and somewhat unheard of for first-time authors. So, again, you know, we're picking up momentum with her book and just continuing to spread the word. And at least in Vicki's case, the book is possibly leading to other opportunities, unexpected opportunities, I'd say, possibly as far as, career is concerned. So, just
absolutely.
so just putting it out there, getting a finished product, there's a lot to be said for that. When you publish a book, you become almost instant authority in whatever the subject matter of your book is, and again, just becoming a community leader. So, thank you, Vicki. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with TP Rewards. Are you able to stay on for a while, or do you have to jump off?
I can stay on for a while. I'd like to hear what everyone else is experiencing as well. So,
okay.
I can stay on.
Okay, great. All right. So I'm going to put you back on mute. We should have another author coming in soon, but I'm going to continue talking until they do come in. All right?
Okay.
Okay. So for those of you that are aspiring authors, you're probably wondering if now is the right time for you to publish your book. And I'm going to say yes, it is. And let me tell you why. One of the cool features of working with TP Rewards is that you do not have to have your manuscript done to start with TP Rewards. Again, let me say that. You do not have to have your book completely written to start with TP Rewards. As a matter of fact, in many cases, it's best to come aboard before you've written your manuscript. This way, we can help you do some research to publish a marketable book. I'm not aware of any other publishing company that offers the customized book coaching we offer at TP Rewards. We will put you on a schedule, and you will publish your book. All but, I don't know, maybe one or two of our authors signed our publishing agreement with TP Rewards before they completed their manuscript. However, even with the one author that had a completed manuscript, it may have been two, we had to work with the author to make some extensive changes to the manuscript before we published it. So this just, it goes through, it benefits everyone to work on this together. And so TP Awards is not a self-publishing company, whereas we just publish whatever, you present to us in manuscript form. Most of the time, the authors, almost all of the time, the authors present a pretty good manuscript to us, or else, we wouldn't accept the manuscript. But, sometimes there are some tweaks that have to be made just to make it a little more marketable for both of us. And so just keep that in mind when deciding whether or not you want to publish with TP Awards. I'll use one of our authors, Daryl Mackey, for an example. His book sat with a self-publishing company for 5 years with no progress before coming to TP Awards. Again, that's because they didn't offer the book coaching. It's pretty much, they just publish whatever you present to them. But when he connected with TP Awards, we were able to get him on a schedule and to put the structure in place that allowed him to not publish one book, but 2 books in the same year. And so also what's unique about Mr. Mackey is his marketing plans for his book. And so TP Awards was flexible enough to work with him to alter his cover and content when needed to fit his marketing model. Okay. And those of you attending the upcoming publishing workshop, which I'll discuss that in just a moment, you'll hear more about that publishing model. And so just give me one moment. Another author is actually trying to get through, but is having some difficulties. Okay. And I am just going to conference them in. Okay. If you don't mind, give me just one moment, please. Okay, thank you so much for holding. We have another author on the line. Her name is Christy Jones, and she just released her book. We just released her book in January. But before we get to Christy, I also did want to mention something unique about Vicky's book, with How to Swim with a Shark. It did help Vicky with setting up her social media, and she actually has a teleconference coming up to promote her book in March, on March 1st, okay? So, that's just an example of some of the other marketing services that TP Rewards does provide for authors. Okay, so Christy, would you just briefly share your experience with TP Rewards for aspiring authors online?
Okay. I started with TP Rewards less than a year ago. It was maybe last March or April that I began working with them, and the book that I created, which is a children's book based on a little boy that's homeless, who lives in a homeless shelter, and the emotions he experiences in the shelter. It was all completed by December of last year, so it was a fairly quick process. TP Rewards was very supportive in walking me through all of the steps, because I'm new to writing a book, new to publishing a book, so they were very supportive in the entire process.
Okay. And also, both with with Vicki and with Christy's book, we were able to get them some publicity, which went really well. And with the publicity, we also provided media training. Christy, can you talk to that? Can you speak to the publicity services you received?
Sure. The publicity services that I received was training to prepare me for interviews, be it TV or radio or phone interviews, which helped greatly because it helped me to hone in on my interview skills, and I'm already used to talking in front of people because I work in a school, but just in honing in on my information and condensing it, trying to not make it as long as it needs to be, and just practicing the type of questions that are going to be asked of me, which helped because almost immediately, the book wasn't even released yet before, there were not magazines, but newspapers that I was talking with, and the book was only a week old before I did a live interview on News Channel 8. So it helped out greatly.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And again, Christy, you've been a pleasure to work with, and we are still working. Right now, actually, Christy is a part of our brand new Speakers Bureau. Actually, all of our authors are part of the Speakers Bureau. But Christy has a speaking engagement coming up in March as well, which we're helping her to, just pinpoint the details. Actually, you have some in March and April, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that's just another benefit. And again, the Speakers Bureau is available to all authors. Okay. Well, thank you, Christy, for sharing your experience about TP Awards. Are you able to stay a little while, or do you have to go?
I can stay.
Okay, cool. All right, so I will continue just giving the brief overview about TP Awards. And so the last example that I want to leave you with is that of Dr. Lisa Ramirez, who won the International Latino Literacy Award for her book, Dulcified, published by TP Awards. Lisa is a director at the Department of Education, and she was just looking for the right publishing partner for her book. And she had many options, but she chose TP Awards because of my educational and Christian focus. So we also worked with Lisa to publish her book in Spanish, and also since her recent award, her book has received some attention from book buyers that other publishing companies may not be able to handle. Some publishing companies, they can list your book in a catalog, but bookstore buyers want certain discounts, and they want to know that the books are going to be refundable. And so just keep that in mind when choosing a publisher for you, because that could create some barriers, some potential, problems for you. So just going again to this upcoming Summer Publishing Institute. And the Summer Publishing Institute is something that we started last year, and it is our only initiative so far. It only happens once a year to bring more authors aboard, to invite authors to publish with TP Awards. So in the Summer Publishing Institute, we have 2 programs that authors can take advantage of, and both programs are open from now until July 7th or until the 20 spaces are filled. So there's a limited number of spaces. There's 20 spaces. So we are accepting manuscripts until those 20 spaces are filled or until July 7th, whichever one comes first. So the first option is the self-publishing option. and this is through the Summer Publishing Institute. And so if you provide us with your completed manuscript by July 7th, we will publish the book in your name or by line using CreateSpace. We'll design your front cover and back cover. We'll format your book, and we'll publish your book before September 7th. Actually, I think that's September 8th. It's September 8th. Okay, and that's the self-publishing option. All of that is just for one payment of $9.97, or it can be split into three payments of $349. So this is an excellent deal. Considering CreateSpace will charge up to $1,049 just to design your cover. Okay, so that's option one, which is the self-publishing option. And option two, which is our most popular option, and it's the option through which both Christy and Vicki came through, is to become a TP Rewards author through our subsidy publishing program. And all of the manuscripts have to be accepted through TP Rewards, and we do not accept each manuscript. It just has to fit with the publishing company. So in order to be considered for this option, the first step would be to submit your manuscript, but there's also a fee involved, which is one payment of about $6,000. That's $5,999, or you could start with one deposit of $997 and 10 payments of $529. And really, we're really flexible with those payments. There is the initial deposit of $997, but the payments thereafter we're flexible with. It just has to be paid off before a year, and it just is going to depend on when you want your book published. So the fee would have to be paid before, we release the book. Okay, and so I just want to briefly go through some of the differences between the self-publishing and the subsidy publishing option, because obviously there is a big price difference, but there's a big service difference as well. With the subsidy publishing option, you get everything with the self-publishing, of course. That's the cover and the formatting, but you'll also get editing. That includes content and technical editing. Let's see, what else? In both options, the author retains 100% copyright and ownership. With the subsidy publishing option, you'll also get a Library of Congress control number, and that's needed in order for your books to get into libraries. You'll get ebook publishing with the subsidy option. With the self-publishing, there is an additional fee, but that is available. We'll do the copyright registration for you. Let's see. We'll do a supply-on-demand book delivery. We'll do online distribution worldwide, U.S. bookstores distribution. And then we also do the promotions with the subsidy publishing option, which is the launch event coordination. So we help you with their release. We provide the promotion pack materials, business cards, bookmarks, postcards, and vertical banner. We create an author website for you. We help set you up on a book campaign, book tour. We also provide a personal publicist for you to help you with your book promotions and publicity, and through that you will receive press releases as needed. The publicist will design your publicity strategy for your book and pitch your book campaign to both local and national media outlets. And once you sign on with TP Rewards, there is an option for you to have ongoing publicity for your book, which, of course, the more publicity, the better for your book, to just get it out there to increase your sales. So that is the subsidy publishing option. And so, again, we're planning to close the invitation to all of our publishing programs on July 7th, or when we get 20 authors, whichever one is first. So this may be the only time you're able to publish with TP Rewards this year. And I'll tell you why. It's because we like to not only focus on publishing books, but we also like to do a good job at helping authors to sell their books and, just accomplish whatever other goals, publishing goals that they've set. We also recently recorded, we also recently launched our new TV show, Community Chat, where that may be another opportunity for authors to help publicize their books. So we have a lot going on at TP Rewards that could be helpful for our authors. And we're continually growing. As we see a need, we aim to meet that need. We know that a lot of our authors tend to be very busy, individuals. No one is doing this full-time yet, meaning no one's, just writing full-time yet. So we try to be helpful to them in handling a lot of the other details and marketing and things like that for them. We do have something we call the Christie chart that we ask authors to complete and submit on a quarterly basis to help us with helping the authors to promote their books. So with that being said, I just want to jump into some of the differences between the three publishing models. There are three publishing models available to you. The first is self-publishing, the second is subsidy publishing, and the third is traditional publishing. A lot of people don't understand the difference between the three of them, so I just want to briefly run through the differences and some of the things you want to consider when deciding which publisher is best for you. Okay, so let's see. Ownership, that's one thing you want to consider. With self-publishing and subsidy publishing, at least with TP Rewards, the author maintains the ownership. They own the copyright for the book. Of course, with traditional publishing, the publishing company owns the copyright. Okay? The control of the book. With self-publishing, obviously, it's pretty high. It's whatever you submit to the self-publishing company is what your book is how your book is going to look, and, with subsidy publishing, it's kind of moderate. It just depends on the publishing company you choose. With TP Rewards, we do our best to maintain the author's voice, but also make it into what we feel is a marketable book, something that we would be proud to help promote. Okay. With traditional publishing, the author has little or no control over the direction of the book. The author investment with self-publishing, a lot of people think it's low, and it may seem low initially, but it actually could turn out to be high. It just depends on what you want to do with your book. You can get a book out there, but if you're considering promoting your book in any way, a publicity campaign by itself could cost $10,000 and upwards, starting at $10,000. Also, the editing is something you likely would have to purchase in addition to the self-publishing option, and that can cost a lot of money, in the several thousands of dollars. So the author investment for self-publishing, if you really want to give your book a chance, is going to be pretty high. With subsidy publishing, I'm going to say it's pretty moderate. It's not as high as the self-publishing. There is an author investment, however. But with TP Rewards, one of the good things I think about TP Rewards is that The author maintains control of it. It's at a reduced rate. In other words, you're not paying $10,000 for a publicist. But there is, we have something called a successful placement fee. So it's kind of commission-based. So, if we don't get any successful publicity for you, then you don't pay any additional money. And so I think it's very fair, and it works well. It gives the author a little more control over the publicity. I've heard a lot about other self-publishing companies and their publicity and promotions, and I've heard that it's a joke. I don't know. I've never went through it, but you do pay the $10,000 up front with no guarantee of any publicity or marketing. Okay. And with traditional publishing, a lot of people think that it's pretty high, but from what I hear, it's not. It's low. This is we're discussing the author investment. With traditional publishing, that can actually be pretty high as well, low to high. It just depends because a lot of times you have to find an agent who will pitch your book to the traditional publishing company. And also with traditional publishing companies, authors may get an advance for their books, but they have to, if they don't earn enough in royalties from the book to cover the advance, and they end up owing the publishing company. So that's something that, people sometimes don't know about and want to keep in mind when deciding which publishing option is best for them. The royalty rate, self-publishing, is high, fairly high. Subsidy publishing, I'm going to say moderate to high. Most of I think it's very comparable to a lot of the self-publishing companies, at least TP Rewards is. Traditional publishing is low, okay? I think the highest royalty rate is about 8%. The workload is another thing you want to keep in mind. And for self-publishing, that is high, obviously. You're doing everything yourself. Subsidy publishing, that's actually where we try to that's what we try to meet the needs the most, is just helping our authors with their workload. So I'm going to say it's moderate. And then with traditional publishing, it could be low to high. Again, a lot of the times the authors have to do a lot of the marketing on their own for the traditional publishing. Sales, self-publishing it can be low, it can be high. It ranges from low to high. Subsidy, I'd say moderate. It ranges. Traditional publishing, it ranges. Actually, all of those three ranges. There is an article that I'd like to share with you, some of the information. There's an article in Forbes. There was a recent Forbes article. And in the article, it pretty much compared the three. Well, it compared publishing models. And what it found was that 20% of self-published authors reported no income at all. 80% of self-published authors reported less than $5,000, and this is in the lifetime of the book. And authors published by a traditional publisher had a median income range of $5,000 to $10,000, and hybrid authors had a median range of $15,000 to $19,000. So we consider subsidy publishing as part of the hybrid model, which is kind of a cross between the self-publishing and the traditional publishing. And I think that, this is going to be the trend, for publishing moving forward, because I've spoken with a lot of frustrated self-published authors and frustrated traditional published authors. And so this is the direction TP Rewards is going in. Okay. All right. And so with that, I am going to turn on our question and answer to see if anyone has any questions. Let's see. I'm just going to unmute. Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
Yes, I do. This is Vicki.
Okay. Hi, Vicki.
Thanks again for all the information. It's just reinforcing what the information that I had to undergo when I published the first book. Now, for the second book, though, I have to get everything in by July 7th. Is that what you're telling me?
That's if you want to self-publish. That's if you want to self-publish.
No.
No, then you're fine. We like to start it by July 7th, though.
Okay,
the agreement by July 7th. Yes.
Okay, that's a good idea.
So that was just for the self-publishing? The July 7th date?
July 7th date, well, that is actually for both options, but July 7th is when the self-published option, you have to have everything in and done. Because with self-publishing, we're not doing any edits. We're not conducting any edits to the book. So,
okay.
You know what I mean? But for the subsidy publishing option, that's a deadline for starting the new agreement. You don't have to have everything done, but that's when, you need to start the agreement. Okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
I didn't really have any questions, but this was sort of a recap of what I've already heard from, our last two conversations. So this was still helpful, and it was good to hear from other authors and their experiences as well.
Okay, excellent. Good. Anyone else have any questions? Okay. If not, then I'd just like to remind you again of that July 7th date, and we're planning to have a workshop soon. So just, keep your eye on your inbox for that. But as far as the Summer Publishing Institute, if you sign up this week, and we're going to start registration this week. It's not on the website yet, but it will be. It should be up there tomorrow. If not, definitely by Tuesday. Then you'll get a discount if you sign up this week. And so that's it's $300 off the TP Reward subsidy package and $100 off the the self-publishing package. But that's if you register this week. You can register for the Summer Publishing Institute all the way through July 7th. But if you want that discount, that particular discount, then you can register this week. Okay? All right. So this is for you if it's time for you to share your message with the masses and you just need a little help. You need a mentor or a guide to walk you through how to do that. You have the why, but just need to know how. There are people waiting to read your book. And so through the TP Rewards Summer Publishing Institute, I will publish your book for you. I believe in you, and it would be my honor and delight to work with you. I hope to work with you through the Summer Publishing Institute. And remember that you can register online at tp-rewards.com. And if you have any questions, feel free to, you can send me an email. You can give me a call. The email address is tep@tp-rewards.com. Thank you guys again for joining me. I look forward to talking with you soon. Have a great night.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.